And we should be live. We'll let LA know. We'll let them decide if they can hear us or not. So I wish more people would not just watch the show, but they'd actually log in and chat with us. LA, you can let us know if you can hear us.
I
I'm not sure yet. All right, nice. So welcome back officially to the Rebel Dead Zombie Apocalypse Show. Decided I've been doing a morning show for those of you who are listening and don't know. I started doing it last Thursday. I was sitting at my desk and I was like, I got to find time to get Dom on because he's been going through a lot. I says, because I want to do Rebel Live again on Monday nights. And I'm like, is there a better night? What should I do? And I'm like, why don't I go on right now and do like a 30 to 40 minute morning talk show? So I do that every morning, Monday through Friday. And I've been, after the show's done, you can catch them on our YouTube channel. So, and then I said, and then on Friday, I was like, you know what? I'm going to do the Rebel Dead show again. So it was such a big hit. Hopefully we can get that crowd back again. So let's chat, Mr. Loco. Let's
oh,
let's chat about The Walking Dead.
oh God. Oh God. Where do I begin?
Well,
Oh
let's
God.
start at the most shocking part of it. Now, I have to tell you, I'm a new fan of this.
Uh-oh.
I wasn't a fan from the beginning, and not because I didn't like it, just because I didn't have time to watch it. You know what I mean? So I wasn't, all my kids watched it, and now like I'm like definitely a fan. I'm really into it, and literally when what's his name, the governor showed up at the
Uh-oh.
prison and shot the guy in the head, we were all sitting here watching it, and we all like went forward in our chairs. We're like, no!
Everyone likes Axel the prisoner. He was such a funny guy.
And at first, I thought he shot what's her name in the head. That's what it,
Carol.
yeah, that's what it looked like to me. And I was like, what? And it went to commercial. I was
That no,
freaking
this
out.
episode. Oh my God! Like the past few have been a little. They've been hit or miss ever since the season kind of. It's had its ups and downs, and then this episode was just like, oh my God!
Well, I think yeah, this was pretty good. This was
It's
good. They needed something. They needed something to happen. Something
yeah.
to be thrown in there to make people go, oh, this is great again, and not it was like everybody's excited about watching it, and then it's kind of the same show, you know.
Yeah, few
So
things have like really changed, or some of the dynamics have evolved. But by and large, the show is it's location specific. But this is getting interesting now.
definitely, definitely, and I think if we look back on our shows, we were kind of at a state of living long term zombie wise, and I guess if we never thought about the fact we had never thought about a horde of zombies that are like just kind of traveling around looking for bodies to eat. But that I don't think we ever talked about that. That never came into a mix. We just said we would settle down kind of like the governor's place. Do you
Woodbury.
remember? Do you remember we talked
Yeah,
about that? And we said
the settlement.
everybody would have a job, everybody would do a certain thing. And then when I'm watching this, I was like, holy shit, that's like, but then this shows like kind of like the dictator type of community that it is.
Yeah, the kind that I would rule. Executioner. No, I'm
So
kidding.
I was like, we had always said, oh, it would be very, democratic and everybody would have a job and we'd vote on things. And I'm like, but what if? And then there's the other side of that. There's, what if we had a smaller community and this horde of zombies shows up? We have to pack up and move. We didn't think
Yeah,
about that either. We didn't talk about that. That wasn't something that was in the mix when we were doing our shows every week.
yeah. The hunting pack is definitely something that's. I don't really see that. I mean, you see crowds of zombies milling around, but there's never been like a driving force for them to. They don't migrate or anything, which is kind of curious. In The Walking Dead, they clearly have, they're attracted to different things like the smell of blood, sound, but they don't just aimlessly wander in a small contained space. They go everywhere.
Yeah.
Because
So that's, that was I was sitting here tonight and I was like, we never took that into consideration. We talked about probably we every aspect from mosquitoes to who would take care of the poop. Do you remember that?
Yeah, Barry was not pleased
Barry
with
was not
that.
happy, But that's what I'm saying. But we didn't cover that. And like I said, when we were talking, I just assumed that our community would be very civilized and very democratic in that manner. But and then I really was watching it and I was like, holy shit! Like, what if it was just the opposite of that? What if we started this and all of a sudden somebody just took over and then we were fucked? Like, we wanted to live here, but we really had to live by certain rules.
Yeah, Phillips. He's a fascinating guy. He's incredibly mentally unstable, and yet he's very coherent, almost to a fault.
Well, they say people that are like that are geniuses.
Yeah, they're just insane.
Exactly. You
Um,
know,
yeah.
people often say I'm like that. No, I'm joking.
And if you were the leader of our community, you would be the first to go.
You're gonna remember this conversation.
Are you gonna have like the mistress, with the Andrea kind of deal?
Absolutely.
I hate her so much.
A lot of people do.
She just like, I feel like all of the women in the show were like, oh god, they underdeveloped everybody except
Really?
to me. Like they just like some of the females have very fleshed out characters,
Right.
and then it's just like, and then you run across
You know,
Andrea.
no, I'm not so you're gonna have to help me out because, like I said, I'm a new lover to The Walking Dead,
Uh,
and the chick that tried to kill herself, the one that's taking care of the baby now. What's her name?
the one that's taking care of the baby.
The chick.
The little girl.
Yeah, the chick that's taking care of the baby. What's
Oh
her
crap.
name? The blonde-haired chick, the one that tried to kill herself.
Yeah, no, I'm actually having trouble remembering her
So,
name.
but I was surprised that she had come such full circle. Like living in these conditions still had not weighed on her. Suicide from the past, and she was like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like,
She went from being a young little like scared, almost introverted at times girl, and then she's like suddenly like a leader of the pack now.
exactly. I thought that was an odd character change. That they
But I actually like her in some respects.
do.
Yeah,
I don't know. I know. I haven't actually paid enough attention to her character, but I think they're developing something because I think it was last week when uh, what's his name came back. She kissed him on the cheek and
I
looked
was
like,
gonna say that. Oh my
yeah,
god.
and she looked like really into his eyes, and I went, oh, they're planning something. Do you know what I mean? And yeah,
Yeah.
didn't you think that? Come on.
There was my first thought was, oh dear God, Rick's going off the deep end. This girl just showed some intimate affection.
Exactly.
There's only one way this is going to go. Only one way.
He's
I mean,
going nuts, and then he's going to do something with her
yeah, and the show.
because he's going to think it's his wife,
Oh God, and
right?
like she's gonna regret it too. But
Right? But no, it's not going to get that far because somebody's going to catch him.
they better, because like I can't. If that happens, I mean they openly deal with sexual abuse as a regular.
Right, but
mature-
see, I was thinking when she kissed him like that, I was like, oh my God, he's like starting to go crazy and having visuals of his wife like here and there, and all of a sudden, watch this girl. He's going to be in one of his states, but maybe like in a quiet. He's not going to be, and she's not going to realize it and going to go up to him, and he's going to see his wife, but it's going to be her, the
That's
chick.
just
And
creepy. She's
it-
like 16 or 17.
But that's what I'm saying, and but listen, I was like, then I thought about this more, because this is how much I'm getting into this now. Then I was like, well, where would they take that? And I was like, because everybody's starting to doubt him as a leader, right?
Yep.
So what happens when he is going nutso and sees his wife and this girl, and he starts like even if it's like trying to maybe like go to kiss her or something, you know what I mean? And the girl doesn't realize that he's seeing his wife. He thinks, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
what's the old guy's name with the one?
Herschel.
Herschel's going to catch him. Watch.
Oh,
And then they're going to have to vote him out.
that's how.
You're the weakest link. Or they're going to, you know what I mean? But I was like, that would be like such a great storyline to go down, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think they're gonna keep Rick around. I don't know if they're gonna.
No, I think so too, but they're not going to put him in a. They're going to put the crazy Asian Glenn.
Glenn.
Yeah, I like him.
Uh,
I don't know why, but I do.
he's become the new Rick.
What? What was
And
it? My son, he's really into the show because he's on MythBusters. My son goes because he's on MythBusters. No, he's
uh,
laughing. They look identical, the guy on MythBusters and him. But I like his character and I like how they've developed it.
he's
Like
a,
he was kind of like, a coward
uh,
essentially. And now he's, do you know what I mean?
yeah, he's different. At times he comes off as a bit of a dick. I know why. I hope
But that's, I think, because he let being a coward rule him, I think. Do you know what I
mhm.
mean? And now he's kind of come out of that shell but you got to understand those conditions. Who wouldn't be a dick? It
Everybody
would,
pretty much.
it would be like Daryl.
Oh God, Daryl. I love Daryl so much.
You love Daryl?
Daryl look like
Daryl's great.
Daryl's the most biggest dick looker, and he's the nicest guy.
Oh, my son TJ says he looks like the biggest dick, but he's the nicest guy.
He is.
Saved a family of people.
And you have Merle.
Yeah, like that was so surprising. His brother is a big douchebag. Oh my God, I hate that man.
Merle. Oh God.
Love to hate him, hate to love him.
Like when he started, I couldn't believe it. He's like holds the gun out after they save the family, and he goes, what did he say to him?
He said, "Get out of the carbiner."
Get out of, yeah, or get away from the carbiner. And I was like, what?
I mean, I know he's like super racist. I don't know if you saw the earlier episodes.
Yes,
Like,
yes, I did.
Yeah.
I started kind of watching here and there last year, and then when my kids watched the rest of the season on Netflix, that's when I started really getting into it and watching it.
Merle's interesting.
Yeah, so I see him dead soon.
Yeah.
A few more episodes.
He's gonna die a pretty bad death.
Because, well, you notice in the previews, what's her name had said to his brother, he's no good for you, talking about.
Yeah.
So, something's going to happen.
Although I think it's gonna come down to him versus the governor. Like the governor's gonna try to kill Daryl or something, and Merle,
Ooh. Yeah,
I
because the
think
governor's not
that-
done with him. He'll be back.
Oh yeah.
Because what's
The
her
governor-
name at the governor's place is going back to the prison. And that
Yeah.
he's bent out of shape about that.
Andrew's a little whiny.
Yeah. Yeah, she's whiny. I think my son agrees with you. He doesn't like her, I don't think.
I don't
No,
think
he
anybody
just-
really likes her. She just gets in the way of everything.
Everybody's, I think, waiting for her to be offed by zombies.
She's not. They're gonna keep her around. Dear God.
Really? They're going to keep her around?
I'm almost certain of that.
Dear God, he goes, dear God.
No, but it's like the government. Everyone wants to see him dead, but you love to hate him and hate to love him.
Right, well, that's what my son said. You love to hate him, you hate to love him, the governor. Everyone wants to see him dead, but that would ruin a whole big part of the show if he were.
He better not kill Michonne, because I would be so pissed.
Really, why?
Michonne is just like, she has so much going on with her. She's like one of my favorite characters of the whole series. She's just such a badass. But if he kills her, that would totally suck. Because like, I feel like she's going to start opening up at some point, and she has a lot to share. But offing her now would be kind of, I don't know, a little bit counterproductive for the show.
So, because I also think every time they tend to off somebody, a couple episodes in, they pick up somebody new.
Yeah.
Because they got to keep it interesting. They can't just keep offing everybody and dwindle everybody down. So I have a feeling in a few more episodes, somebody's new is going to come into the picture.
Maybe Tyrese and his family and
Yeah.
friends. I know he's supposed to be, in the comics they're supposed to be together.
Right.
Um,
Well, see, that's what I
but-
did. I haven't read the comics, so I don't know where that storyline goes.
I can tell you that there were a lot more people in the comics,
Right.
and then at the end of the prison sequence, there were a lot fewer.
Really? So you
Oh,
think
yes.
you think in the prison sequence more people will die before we're out of that? Because they're getting ready to leave. Aren't they deciding right now whether they should leave the prison?
Yeah, I think the end of season 2 is going to see a location change.
Interesting.
I don't know though, because I don't remember. I don't know. I haven't followed the comics in a while,
Right.
so like I don't know where they leave after the prison.
All right. See, I would see, and that relates back to what we had talked to. This is a good scenario. If and I remember when we had talked, I said that I would go north. I would go way north. I would go like into Canada if I could. Look how
Polar.
freaking hot and sweltering they are there. It's gotta like stink like holy hell.
Yeah.
My son said, Tyler says you would get used to it. I guess you would though.
Honestly, though, I could see going up to where I live, Maryland, maybe just a little bit north of Maryland. Areas that are isolated but still have decent climates, good for farming and whatnot, but isolated.
Right, right. You're more in the tunnel again. Just to let you know.
Oh,
You're not so bad. You were not so bad a minute ago. Now you're more in the tunnel again.
am I out of the tunnel yet?
Yes, yes you
Okay.
are.
Choo choo choo.
He's come out of the tunnel.
Sorry, I was just going to my secret underground bunker.
Right. So that was something else. I was with Rob. We were talking the other day. He's driving me to work, and we'd said that there's actually people out there that have built what they've considered zombie-proof houses, and I had seen one on
Yeah.
TV that it was where a clearing was, where they had chopped down a whole bunch of huge trees, and all the wood was left there in big piles, and one of these big giant piles was literally a house, and when the sides came up, the wood was lifted, and there was a house underneath it. And they actually even like 200 yards away, like they had a wood burning stove inside, but the piping, instead of going up through it went underground and went, so like if zombies smelled smoke, if they did, or they were attracted by heat or whatever, it would be 200 yards away from the house.
Oh my god.
Then there's people that like are living in it, like they're ready.
What?
They're ready for this apocalypse. Yes.
Oh my god.
My
I
son
mean,
Tyler just said, "Better safe than sorry."
uh, uh,
Right? So, I mean, hell of an episode tonight, though. Otherwise, I think I tweeted out there literally, no.
I think I was collecting the poop out of my drawers.
Yes, absolutely. And I wasn't actually going to go on too long. I wanted to just touch base and say that we were back. And, the Rebel Dead shows used to go quite a long time, but I figured we'd rebuild our groupies again like we had. And maybe, every week we'll incorporate the Walking Dead show into our show and kind of take it from there and kind of give a rundown and incorporate it into our own scenarios. And I haven't heard of any zombie attacks in the news ever since last year. So they've piped down. I think they only happen in the summer. I think it's a summer thing. People go crazy and eat people. Because
You go into heat, but it's a different kind of heat.
oh God, I hope so.
I want your bod for my mouth.
Ew, that even sounds wrong. Oh my goodness. So, and also on Tuesday, we will have for you. Where's the game at? And I haven't really said anything all week because I didn't want to make it any harder for my son. My son Tyler is actually a staff writer at Rebel Gaming, and he doesn't tweet much. It's XX Bedhead. He will be reviewing for us. We've been playing it all week. Metal Gear Rising.
Oh, god damn it.
Oh man, and I can't. I'm bound by NDA.
Yeah. Oh,
But can I tell you, it's not my game type, but I am blown away by the storyline.
it's so ridiculous.
No,
Oh my god.
it's so good. And I'm not a big story, I'm not a big person that's into that. But there was, I'm just going to say this. My son was playing the game. There's one part where he literally gets up and walks into the kitchen and he goes, "You're not going to believe what they put in this game." He goes, "You're not going to believe what they reference. You're not going to believe what this guy says."
Oh,
And then he told me, and I was like, "Holy shit!" And I'm not allowed to say it. That's all I can say.
is it a pop culture reference or like a game reference?
No, it's a historical reference, and it's a
Oh.
historical as it's a historical tragedy. So, and that's all I'm going to say. And if people do not buy this, they're going to be very sorry. They missed it.
So, like, I was just like, I tried the demo. Somebody else on our staff at our website is going to be reviewing it.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
like,
we actually will have the review done tomorrow, and it'll just be
oh,
we're
sweet.
gonna have it timed to go out exactly at 3 Eastern. That's when it lifts.
And I'm really
So
curious because like the blade mechanic in the demo is kind of weird. I haven't gotten used to it yet, but I mean it's fun, you know. It's interesting.
I liked it. I was surprised. You know, I don't know. Maybe also though my son does voiceovers as he's playing the game, so it makes it a little bit more interesting. He does very good accents, different accents. So he made himself into character.
Oh my god.
Yeah, through the whole. It was great. I have to get him live streaming. It was great fun. He's brilliant. I love to watch him play. But so Tuesday, everybody look forward to that. And I know Barry just tweeted out as well on our site. He did the review for Dead Space,
Oh,
and that's up on Rebel Gaming. And he also did. I'm looking over at our Twitter. He also did Aliens Colonel Marines review. It says,
oh Jesus
no,
Christ.
wait, this is what he says. He says, no, you can't unplay it.
No.
It's
Oh,
horrible.
oh god. I had so high hopes.
So did he.
My
That's
my
Barry.
my
This is
family
Barry's favorite game in the whole world. So
my
he'd been.
family is like hardcore. Like we have Sid Mead's art book. We have like resin kits of every vehicle. Like
Right.
it runs in our family. And I just looked at the game and I thought, oh dear God, what have they done?
Well, Barry is always a very lively read. So you know, I would go read. I still have to read the review tonight. I haven't read it yet because we were watching the show and then it came on. So people need to go check that shit out. Barry's usually always good. If you're offended by foul language, then don't read his review. That's all I can say.
Don't
Because
listen to our stream.
yeah. Oh, please, right? Exactly. And every Sunday night after the shows, we're going to come on and we're going to do about a 30 or 40-minute show. We're going to keep it crisp and clean and get down to the basics and talk about The Walking Dead and talk a little bit about our zombie apocalypse scenario, and we'll save the rest for the next week. So unless we get a lot of people in channel that want to keep chatting and stuff, and I'm very happy to see though that one of our regulars showed up to listen. And this, after I'm done with this is going to go right up on I'm going to upload it to the YouTube. It takes me about 10 minutes, so that we will have all the shows to be able to be referenced on our YouTube channel. So yeah, so thank you for coming on, and you're more than welcome every week if you're here to come on and talk about it, because you're into it just as much as anybody else. So I always need a good sidekick too. So I'm not going, that one girl with the hair and
Yeah?
I have people that actually know names. so, so thank you for coming on, and thank you for joining us for the official comeback of the Rebel Dead Zombie Apocalypse show. And we'll have, like I said, this was just a real quick comeback, and we'll be a little bit more organized next week.
Glad to hear it.
All right, and thank you everybody for joining us. And we will see you next Sunday, directly after The Walking Dead at 10 p.m. Eastern for the Rebel Dead Zombie Apocalypse show. Good night.
Have a good one.